Okay, animal story first. So you guys heard a little bit about Dave Schultz, right?
Yeah.
Well, Dave Schultz was an Olympic champion. And I believe in 1989 we were in Stillwater, Oklahoma for the Olympic Festival. And we went after it to this bar because they said they had a bear. If you pinned the bear, you could win $100. So first up was Bruce Bumgarner, who's the heavyweight. Got wrenched the bear, and the bear goes,
What kind of bear is this?
A bear.
What kind of bear? Like a black bear?
Brown bear. Black bear.
A brown bear?
Yeah.
Or a black bear?
Brown bear. They're the same. They're all brown.
No, but it's not in the grizzly family.
No, it's not a grizzly.
No. Okay. All right, guys. I had to put this in perspective.
Trying to win $100. So Bruce gut wrenches him over, but can't pin the bear. Okay. Mark Schultz got in there and took it down. The bear's pretty good. First, this old cowboy guy got in there and took one single leg, and the guy was breathing on him. Like that, bear's right in his face. So Dave got on the bear, and he's trying to do this front headlock and choke the bear. And the guy had him on a chain, so wherever the chain went, Dave was circling around the other side trying to choke the bear. And got him on his back, but the bear's arms don't go out like this, so you can't pin him. A bear's natural go like this, so it's really hard to pin the bear. And they didn't call it a pin because they said the arm's got to be out here. Well, anatomically, okay, physically, they cannot go that way. They can only go this way. So they didn't give him $100. But he pinned the bear.
Dave Schultz, pinned the bear.
Yeah.
And one more time, did they have a muzzle on this bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what Dave was circling away from the chain. He's trying to get the front headlock on there, and every time he felt the...
Did they cut the claws?
Probably. I don't remember. I don't remember who had claws. I'm sure probably, wasn't that aggressive, just a bear. But he had the muzzle on.
Just a bear.
Dave went to the front headlock, and every time he felt the bear breathe on him, he pulled his arm back, and he circled, he pulled his arm back, and he was trying to choke the bear.
How much did this bear weigh?
About 250 pounds.
250. Man.
Was it smaller
So
bear?
Anton, aren't you about Anton's 200, guys. Take a 50-pound child and ride and piggyback on top of Anton.
That's what this is.
Okay, so questions. That's the bear story. That's my animal story. Question. Listen.
Wait, so the bear was a grizzly bear?
It was brown bear.
Brown bear. Not a grizzly. That would have been probably more dangerous.
Wait,
How about other questions?
so wait, it was at a bar or what?
Yes.
A bar.
Did you drink anything at the bar?
No, we went there to just get out of the training room. We're working out all day, wrestling all day. You gotta have a break. Cranberry orange juice.
I weigh 59 pounds.
No, nobody got it.
85.
Here, 85.
No, I didn't find it.
Wait,
I'm
how
not
much?
heavy.
Wait,
I'm not heavy.
how much do you weigh?
Me? Now or what weight did I
Right
compete
now.
at? Right now I weigh about 125.
Here, my weight.
Coach,
How did you first get into wrestling?
All right, good question. How did I first get into wrestling? I saw it on TV, and the guy was hitting somebody with a chair, and I said, I'm going to do that. No, that's not true. My brother, who's 4 years older than me, started as a freshman in high school. Used to come home, first year in high school, used to come home and beat me and my brother Danny up, okay? And we were just screaming, "Mommy!" Right? So he started wrestling. He actually went to the first state meet they ever had in the state of California in 1973 and 74. He went 2 years. So he kind of got us started, just out of self-defense. My brother and I, Danny, about a year and a half apart, so we were fighting already. So he kind of taught us some wrestling moves, and we started wrestling. I started in 7th grade. Question. How long have I been wrestling for?
48 years.
Well, I've been doing wrestling 48 years. I competed on the national team for 15 years. Okay, Team USA, World Team, Olympic teams, 15 years.
How old are you?
I'm older than you.
How did your brother get into wrestling?
How did my brother? I don't know. I guess the high school coach probably recruited him on campus, or maybe he had a friend that got him into it. I don't know how he got started, but he fell in love with it, and he loved it, and he came and beat us up.
What would you say is like one of the biggest turning points in your wrestling career? Like where you went from being good to much, much better? What was the catalyst, or what happened?
I had a sport lit class that my high school coach was teaching English, and he taught sports literature, and we went in and read about sports, and I had already went to state as a sophomore, and this is my junior year. Okay, so my junior year, I'm sitting in sports lit class, and I'm reading the book about Dan Gable. And at that moment, it helped me set a goal to make the Olympic team. But, you know, I'm reading this book and I'm thinking Dan Gable, and I'm reading the whole Dan Gable story, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm a junior in high school. The guy will probably be dead by the time I grow up. Right? Still alive. Okay, and that was in 1978. 4 years later, he was coaching me at the World Championships in Edmonton, Canada.
Wow, you're
4
lucky.
years.
You're lucky. Who was the toughest opponent I have ever
Me? I've had a lot of tough opponents. Now, I mean, you mean tough like who beat the hell out of me the most, or who did I have a fight with the most, or who was the dirtiest wrestler in the world?
It was like the one that
All right, so I was in Moscow in 1982, and we had just finished Tbilisi tournament and some duels. We were back in Moscow where they had the Olympics in 1980, and I had this Russian guy, and I asked Gene Mills, I said, who is this guy? He says, I'll tell you after the match. Well, I went out there, and Sergei Korolyov beat me 11-0. He was a 3-time, 4-time world champion. I didn't know who he was. Sergei Korolyov.
How old is he?
He's older than me.
50?
Yeah,
55? How old are you?
I'm old.
How old?
How old are you?
7? How old are you?
You're 7? I'm 6 times older than you. No, 9 times older than you.
Sergey's our coach.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on.
No,
Wait,
you guys,
That's
your
different.
coach is Surge.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, another question.
Oh, so you're 63?
I'm 6.
Oh.
Guys, it's a different
6-0.
wrestler.
Oh,
Question.
I thought it was third.
Biggest difference between American wrestlers and international
What they wrestle all over the world, freestyle, Greco. Some of the biggest differences is, number one, they get support from their government, especially in Iran or Russia. So support, financial support, training sites where you don't have to work, you can just train all the time. Okay? As far as the technical aspect of it, I think they do a lot more drilling type training and rest. They understand the value of recovery. In America, we're so ingrained in folk style and college wrestling, you know, the Iowa style, the go, 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 go. And a lot of times that can be used against you internationally because you're trying to create action and you're always being overly aggressive. Where sometimes the Russians sit back, or the Iranians just sit back a little bit and let you come to them to make the mistakes. And that's why, they try to get ahead 1-0 and then they wait for you to make mistakes because they know Americans are going to be really aggressive. So sometimes, I think once you learn some patience as far as your strategy and your attack internationally, you can be a good wrestler. Okay? But you got to understand also that you do need to have recovery, because there was a time in our training that we would go without a day off 15, 16 days in a row, 2 times a day, every day. And we're going, we're nuts. And then we'd take a day off and we'd feel bad, like, oh no, trials are coming up, we got to keep going. And we'd go another 15, 16 days. Okay? So it becomes a relentless pursuit, but you would have to understand the value of rest as well. So once you kind of ingrain that in part of your training, it's just like what you eat, your diet and your nutrition. Your rest has got to be in there somewhere too. So whether it's mental recovery or just relaxation, getting a massage, getting sauna, or just going out for a nice long run on a day and not have to do anything on the mat. Okay, something to help yourself mentally recover so you have that rest.
Due to rest, what happened to your finger? Like, why do you have that feeling?
Yeah, tape. Why?
Why?
For what?
Okay, that's preventative medicine. You ever broke a knuckle? Well, this was my first one I broke. Dislocated this knuckle. So I was working out with John Smith, and he reached out and he got frustrated because he couldn't get his low single. So I'm way down here like this. And he's trying to get his low single, and he couldn't get it. He just got frustrated, and he reached out, grabbed my finger, and yanked it. My knuckle popped out. And I'm like, what are you
Why
doing?
you cannot go to the doctor?
Yeah, I was hurt. Off the heel. And then this one broke on the mat when I landed on it one time. So I just do this for preventative medicine to make sure they don't pop out again. Question?
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Okay, first, do you remember who your coach was?
Which coach?
Your coach who taught you wrestling.
Yes. I talk to him all the time.
Coach?
Williams.
And second, what made you want to be like a coach?
Me? Because I want to give back to you so you can learn how to do the same thing. And then when you get older, you're going to teach somebody else like this
Coach.
little guy.
Coach.
Yes.
Guys, last question. You gotta wrap it up.
We got more. What do you do? What do you do? Question? What? Oh, the dirtiest fighter. Well, that's no question about it. Hands down, Rainer Heidel from West Germany.
I had a lot of dirt.
Come here. I'll show you what Rainer does. Come here. Come here. Yeah, West Germany. This is Rainer Heidel. Shake hands. Headbutts you right off the bat. And then he grinds his head in there, and he punches you, he scratches you, pulls your hair like that, right here. Yeah, I'm gonna take you down. Yeah, they do that.
That's not allowed.
You prefer folk style or freestyle?
I wrestle freestyle. I did high school, college, and then freestyle.
Hey, you break your knuckle? I thought you were going to go to the doctor to get a knuckle.
A knuckle cast.
Yeah. Like a big
No, I'm good now. I'm just doing it so I don't hurt him again. Question.
How many times have you won the Olympics?
I was 4th in 88 and 5th in 92.
So how many times have you won the Olympics?
I went to the Olympics twice. Seoul, Korea, Barcelona, Spain.
But how many times have you won them?
I didn't win. Took 4th and I took 5th.
Oh.
How was your experience going to the
How was
Olympics?
my experience at the Olympics? Well, the first time in Seoul, I think you're so elated about making a team. You know, you're focused on your training, you're focused on the goal, and everything is new. You know, the whole experience is new. And you've got all these people, meaning athletes, 12,000 of the best athletes in the world that you're going to see this next week with Tokyo. 12,000, and we're all in the same village, we're eating the same place, and you just realize you happen to be one of them. And you meet a lot of different people. The first person I met, the first person to win a gold medal in Seoul was Lynette Love. You guys remember Lynette Love?
No.
Why not? You guys are martial artists. Taekwondo?
Nope.
She won a gold medal in Taekwondo.
Um,
How about Jim Abbott? You know Jim Abbott?
they do spells.
Jim Abbott didn't have a hand right here, and he put the glove over here, and he pitched for the California Angels. That's what I woke up to in the morning, him pitching. Smack in the glove, smack in the glove.
Wait, he didn't have a hand?
Nope. He was born without a hand, so he put the glove here, and then he pitched. And then he took the glove off, caught it, put the glove back, pitched. Questions?
How many gold medals have you gotten in jiu-jitsu?
In jiu-jitsu, I don't do jiu-jitsu. I'm not a jiu-jitsu. I'm a wrestler.
How many gold medals? I'm both. I'm both.
I have a lot.
I'm both.
I have a lot of seconds, but I have a lot of firsts.
Okay, guys. All right, guys, listen up. Okay, last question of the day, and then we gotta send the kids home. Their parents are waiting.
So with all like your medals and trophies, how many do you think you have? Just estimate. More than 100?
Probably.
I only have 2.
You know, I don't really count all the medals. You know,
Where do you keep them?
when I have a big Tupperware box that normally I bring them to clinics, but I didn't.
You brought it here before.
Yeah, I
You've
have.
given medals away to kids.
I
I've
have.
seen you.
Yeah, so I kind of keep track of the national championship ones and my world medals. So those are the ones I kind of keep track of.
I only
and
won 2
usually
medals.
bring to show.
Okay, guys, that's it. We have Coach. Absolute final question.
Favorite wrestler of the last decade? I'll give you 2010 and up.
The what?
Your favorite wrestler of 2010?
2010?
Yeah.
And newer.
Yeah. So like this we'll say Kale Penn State era. Starting there.
Who?
Kale's Penn State era. So like 2010.
But for freestyle or collegiate?
No, just everything. I want to know your favorite modern day wrestler.
You know, I like Jordan Burroughs because I know him, and we've had some experience with him back in Virginia and some barbecues and some eating. But I love Kyle Dake right now, and primarily because I think he's doing everything right. He's really studied how to overcome the best guy in the weight class, Burroughs, and he's lived his life that way. His whole family's that way. I mean, just the fact that he's eating all the right stuff, nutritionally, training the right way. I mean, even looking at a computer or stuff like that, he's wearing red lenses or something like that because of the light. Yeah, the blue light blockers and all that. So I think, you know, mentally he's on the right track, and I think he's.
So you think he's going to beat Civic?
I think he's going to do that. He was very solid in the trials. He was impressive, and you know all the guys are pretty good. I like David Taylor. You know, anybody that comes from Penn State area, and you know, and he's a kind guy too. So when people are good people, and most wrestling people are, it's kind of cool to see them succeed. So.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry, we gotta end the show. I'd love to talk forever, but you're gonna have to end it. Everybody, let's stand up and then give him a round of applause. Let's stand up, shake hands.